Hey guys, it's Chris. So welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a really good one. So we've been leading up to today's topic in Capture One. We've been talking about how to set it up, how to make the transition from Lightroom, 5 myths that might have held you back from making the switch. So we've been leading to, why would you choose Capture One? And one of the biggest features is tethering. And so today we're going to do a little deeper dive into what tethering is, how you set it up, why it's beneficial, why it is one of the core tools within Capture One, and why it's good for you to learn. So what is tethering? Tethering is the ability to connect a tether cable. This one's from Tether Tools. There's another company out there called Area 51. Tether tools are orange. Theirs is red, but they both work great. But what you do is in your camera, you more than likely, if you have any recent camera, have USB-C. So it just plugs straight in. Easy enough. I would definitely recommend, they have plates that go on the bottom in the tripod, Arca Swiss plates. And you basically kind of run your cable through that plate and then connect it. And then that way, if anybody trips on the cable, it tugs on that plate and not on your port. Definitely recommend that. But so you connect one end to your camera and the other end to your computer. So why is that helpful? Well, in Capture One, while you're shooting, you have the ability to see your images as you're taking them. You also have the ability to make any adjustments. So when you make an adjustment to one image, say exposure or cropping or color grade or anything, that each image that comes in after that, if you want, will have that adjustment automatically applied. So that is super helpful, because you are now able to review your images on a large screen instead of just the back of the camera. So when you're on a commercial job, you can't have people trying to review your images on the back of the camera. You fire off 10 or 20 or whatever, and then you're like, hey, look how great it is. Being able to tether into the computer and have those images come in with the grade applied is incredibly helpful. Another thing is being able to set up multiple monitors. So when you're on your computer, you can have, a laptop and just use your laptop. So you just have that one monitor, or you can attach, additional monitors, whether it's a desktop or a laptop. And in those monitors, you can set up different viewers. And so you could have one monitor, your kind of workstation monitor, that has all the tools and your adjustments and everything laid out for you. And then the other monitors, you could have just a clean, full-size preview of that particular image or multiple images. And so from there, you can send a different feed to different monitors. So different people on set may have different needs for what they're looking for. So having those multiple monitors is incredibly helpful. So, for example, if you're on a fashion shoot, you could have your monitor for the photographer. You could have another monitor run for the stylist, the wardrobe stylist, and then a different monitor run for the client or the agency or the brand or whoever it may be, any decision makers or key holders that need to sign off on those images. They're able to see on a large screen the images as they're coming in. And so that's just way more beneficial than trying to do it off the back of the camera. If you're new here, my name is Chris Prince. I'm a commercial and product photographer based in Dallas, Fort Worth. I am also a Digitech for other photographers, and I am the Capture One developer for Very Good Presets. So if you've used any of our Very Good presets for Capture One, I made those. Thanks for checking them out. So client review. Is, those individuals that we were just talking about, say it's an agency or a brand on a commercial job that you're working on, are going to want to make sure that the shot list is approved. And so they are reviewing those images. They're making sure that the shot list for the day is being checked off, and they can see those photos throughout the day. And so they can be like, yes, image 1247, we're going to use that one, so we'll go ahead and mark that with a 5-star. Image 3214 looks great, and we'll mark that. Whatever the case may be. But throughout the day, they're able to see in real time through the shoot that they're getting the work that they need, and can rate and flag those images through the day. So a little bonus. So if you're using iPads for your client viewer, Capture One now has an app that you can use the iPad as basically in the digital monitor. And then they can also control what they're looking at. So you could have like the grid of the different images throughout the day, and they can click on them, or they can follow along as you're shooting. So as the images are coming in, it automatically updates and they're seeing it in real time. And then the client can also rate and star their favorites, which is amazing. It auto syncs back to the main computer. So throughout the day, if you're working on a particular shot and, you're tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, and then they feel like they've got it, they can mark that, as a 5-star or whatever your rating system may be. And it sync back. And then at the end of the day, you've already got all your selects done. And the client was able to do that kind of away from the main computer, the main hub, so they're not like hovering over you. You're like, yeah, can I look at the last one and go back 2 more? No, they can just grab the iPad and go through and make their own like selects and rating. And it doesn't interfere with the interface on the main computer. So you could be making adjustments and doing whatever you need to be doing with the stylist and the photographer or whatever. But the client has the ability to have that kind of control in their hands. They really love that. It's a nice workflow. Something else with the iPad that I'm personally super excited about. I've waited years for this. They have now introduced the ability to work with sessions. So we've talked about sessions. If you've not viewed that video, check it out, wherever the card is, however that works. But you can now work off of a session on the iPad. So you could take an SSD drive from your main computer, plug it into your iPad, and work off of a session. Or you could shoot tethered into the iPad and have like a really lightweight mobile system. Say you're kind of running gun out in the field, but you still want to be able to have access to tethering for the larger screen and all the reasons we just talked about. But you're mobile and you need something really kind of run and gun. So you can now tether directly into the iPad, into a session. When the shoot's done, you have that session. So you could take it back to your main machine and do all the heavy lifting work off of that. Or you just work off your iPad if you want to. It's pretty full featured at this point. And so it's kind of an amazing workflow. So I'm a big fan of having the flexibility of being able to be super lightweight with the iPad, or having multiple iPads on set to kind of hand out to different people, or have multiple monitors, a little more stationary. Say you're doing a big shoot in studio for multiple days, you've got 3 or 4 monitors kind of placed throughout the room. So it really does give you the ability to scale up to large productions with multiple people that need access to the images, or a run and gun, grab an iPad and tether into that, and have access to a larger 13 or 11 inch screen versus your camera screen, and go from there. So hopefully I've made the case for tethering in Capture One. I think it's an incredibly valuable tool for commercial photography, and it's just an amazing workflow to be able to see your images as you're shooting, know that you've got the shot, know that you've got kind of a final look, or close to final look during the day while you're working. And so when the shoot's done, you're good to go. So if you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Again, Chris Prince, and thank you so much for your time. See you in the next one.